Very good evening, wherever you are. This is Paul, your host. Welcome to my channel, this is Royal Bangalore Food. Today, we're going to look at it how important is your space, your physical office space for the compliance registration, for your company registration, and also quickly to look around what kind of operational expenditure that you will weave to go ahead and kickstart your e commerce brand, specifically on the food aspect. Remember on the previous vlog I spoke about the white gold. So this is going to be a continue of second episode. So welcome back to my channel, and if you're middle to the deep end, do let me know. Put in your comments and I'll be glad to answer that all. So let's kickstart. Let's not waste further of time. Let's dive in. To kickstart from your e-commerce brand, specifically on your food aspects, currently what I'm doing is that I'm hunting for a space. Why space is important? What does it mean by space? Space is basically a physical location or a shop or a godown or a warehouse that you will operate from. Now you remember I told you about White Gold. Just to give you perspective, White Gold is a brand name of Royal Bangalore Food. It's named after this YouTube channel as well. That's been my inspiration. And being a Bangalorean, what else can you think about it? Giving the best royal food. And being a Mallu background, I have leveraged my hands on the ultimate tree of life, which is nothing but the coconut products. Going to kickstart with coconut milk, virgin coconut oil, coconut powder, which is nothing but your desiccated powder, and also your coconut chips, something new to the market. And we will evolve and develop a whole lot of ready to eat and convenience food, as a matter of fact. And we would be showcasing most of the aspects in case if you want to kickstart on your e-commerce brand, right? So today's subject is going to be not on e-commerce brand. Today's subject is going to be on the space, and also in terms of your operational conditions, what is required to go ahead and kickstart. I have chosen a pathway to go ahead and kickstart from the offline store. Now, what do you mean by offline? Offline is basically a traditional brick and mortar case wherein you would go ahead and identify a space nothing less than 150 to 200 square feet. Now, this is basically a shop, a standalone shop on a high street, not on the main street. I mean, the rentals will be really high, because first thing is that it'll help you to go ahead and get your rental agreement, get the owner or the rental agreement, who is the owner of that particular shop, on his name you need to have, or GST, electricity bill, to go ahead and get your GST. So GST is going to be the primary source when anything that you want to kickstart on the e-commerce line. Now remember, since it's going to be a food processing or a food product, you also need to have an FSSAI license. So FSSAI license guidelines clearly defines that you need to have a space, ideal physical location, in case they would come and identify and do an audit to understand how well you stock your product, what is your batch code, how well you take care of your shelf lives, how well you have your lab details, nutritional label mentioned, in terms of your manufacturing companies mentioned, your customer care, your FSSA license code, the entire guidelines, what kind of space that you will use, what kind of marketing, what kind of printing that you will do, and how well is your sealed product, and how safe is your product for the consumer to consume your product. So instead of all of these things, guidelines, the first thing is that you need to have a wonderful space. Now that space doesn't mean that you need to go ahead and deck up. What I mean by deck up is that go ahead and do a lot of furniture, hi-fi interiors, nothing required. Since I'm doing this offline store to kickstart initially, it's basically going to be between 150 to 200 square feet, because remember, we all start from the garage, or probably we start from home. Since it's going to be private limited, we need to have a physical space, and since it relates to the food product, you need to stop. Now, what happens in the comparatively from the online to offline? Offline is where if you're in the high street, and since it's all this coconut products, you're on the street or you're on the place where you still find there is a lot of request, or a lot of you will have walk-in customer sales to go ahead and deliver. So they would get to know your hands-on product. Since the product is already product market fit, we need to understand whether the audience or the customers will actually end up buying your product. Various SKUs. What is SKUs? Shopkeeping unit. So I would start from coconut milk. We have 100 ml, 200 ml, 400 ml, 500 ml, and a 1 liter pouch. And since it's a retort food processing packaging, it comes with most probably 5 layers of aluminum foil, completely packed. Even the light doesn't penetrate. It does a pasteurization process and then a retort, and then a shelf life of to check for 45 days, and then only comes to the market. Is as fresh as possible. We still use one particular preservatives to go ahead and stay away from the bacteria. Nothing relates to the chemical aspects of it. Absolutely safe and sound. You cannot go ahead and give as fresh coconut milk as is possible. So what happens is that since you put up a physical space, you have a store value addition that you will have in and around customers looking for this product, and you would just do a small marketing, probably reach out to your association, your friends in and around neighborhood. You just talk about it. You reach out to your churches and your temples, because coconut product is being used in predominantly in South India. Remember, I'm in Bangalore, so I will have customers coming in, and also to help you with it, you kickstart the store. It will also give you a fair understanding that, I mean, it would take minimum 2 to 3 months people to get to know you, because not that you put up a store and everybody will just flock you in, right? It is something niche store, because you'll have only 4 products in different SKUs. Yes, you might have a lot of sales from coconut chips, something new to the market. You might have coconut milk, something new to the market, because you always find it in the tin box. There's going to be as pouch as possible. Just tear it open and use it. It has a 1 year shelf life. So we need to educate it. So the best part of self marketing is the greatest of YouTube and Instagram and Facebook, basically in any social media. Since I would go ahead and converse in through such medium, so obviously I can go ahead and put this across in my WhatsApp. Recently I got to know that the entire Meta community is helping small businesses like me to kickstart the entire marketing campaign and sell through WhatsApp. So that's going to be a greatest asset that you can leverage on, because once you post your WhatsApp status, people end up looking at you, right? So eventually, as you go ahead and check your catalog, they can also order, and eventually you can send a link to your online site and then can order. So simultaneously, if they're not able to find it in my website, they can always come to the store. So vice versa. So if it is, you have to make sure that in the online you have to have all your inventories lined up. So what I'm trying to say, not to digress, coming back to the physical store, that initially once you test, you want to do a market study to understand whether this product is really viable. You take a load of feedbacks from the customers saying, hey, you know what, the quality, the taste factor, in case if you have any kind of bloating or probably any kind of issues, spoilage, everything can be leveraged and understood, and give this similar feedback and also value addition to your manufacturer, so that he works on the packaging again and then gets back to you. So what happens when you have a physical store? There are many great things which happens. First thing is that you're having customers walking in. If your product is fantastic, if you have a wonderful pricing, very highly competitive, nothing could beat that particular pricing, and which we will work upon it. And what happens is that since it's a consumable product, as soon as possible, especially for the South Indians, they would end up consuming at least in a day once, or probably twice a day, or 3 times a week, or twice a week maximum. So eventually they would go ahead and come to your store and be your repeat customers. That's first thing. The second thing is that since you're selling coconut oil, and also in terms of your chips, or probably coconut desiccated powder, they would leverage you to go ahead and buy the other products from you as well. Now, I'm also looking at it to sell something else to go along with this particular product. Let's see how it goes. So what I'm trying to tell you is that you have to identify those customers. Make sure that you have a visibility of your store. Put up your branding. Just a basic store explaining what the shop is all about. And probably a standee to explain what is the pricing, what you do. People don't ask questions. They just come and buy and go. Now, over a period of time, what happens is that you're having customers coming in, and just in case if they're traveling somewhere else, it's always better. You can always leave a line saying that, hey, you know what, if you want to order also, we are also launching an online. Why don't you come to our website and visit? Because you have organic traffic coming into your online. So this is one of the greatest asset if you go ahead and do your physical store. It's easy because I have verified QuickBooks, Kata book, and your Zoho invoice and Zoho books. They'll give you inventory. They can also do a billing, small billing, just in case if you require, because you keep your inventory to check how well you're trying to create this brand and how well you're trying to reach out to your customers and get those feedbacks and survey organized through your email, through your SMS. Best thing is about your WhatsApp. So you collect their informations and always leverage saying that, you know what, I also have an online store. So you make the organic customers coming in and also visit your online segment. Through that, you can also talk about it in terms of educating, create some recipes, leverage as AI is possible as your intelligent friend. My dear ladies and gentlemen, today at this era, we are talking about 5 years from now, the entire AI is going to launch. Very futuristic technology is going to be generative AI, and it's also going to be more of cloud computing or so-called quantum computing, wherein your laptop and your device is going to get super speed because India is also leveraging 5G. We are delayed from the other part of the world, but still, if you get 5G organized, it's going to be the greatest value add for a lot of companies to kickstart and grow. And since we are doing this medium of creator content, I would request you, that makes me a request to go ahead and hit that like and follow and subscribe, because it gets me immense pleasure to get this product, get this business rolling, and help a lot of creators and entrepreneurs or startups, be it women, be it for the college student, whatever problems that you have. Food is the greatest aspect that you can reach out to. Recently, I was looking at a case study of a fantastic guy from Hyderabad, from Telangana. He started off a wonderful millet-based chikki, or so-called millet-based candy bar made up of millets only, right? So he's already doing 50 crores within 1 year span of time, and he would obviously, you're just selling it in three states: Telangana, Andhra, and Chhattisgarh. Just imagine he's identified a tier 2 or a tier 3 kind of a segment, and wherein he's selling millet based chikki bar, or so called the chikkis, what we call it as. And my favorite it is, right? So food aspect is plethora. You have to get on Google. Currently now you can get on ChatGPT or Google Bard. I would advise you to go ahead and use the paid version of ChatGPT 4. I'm not promoting here. They're not sponsored. I don't even get views in my channel, so don't no questions about it. But having said that, you need to know this physical store will get you lot of time to go ahead and sell, understand your product, rework on your product, do a lot of R&D, and come back and making sure that you achieve what you wanted, and then go to your. So this is the approach which I am going to go and take to online, so that I do not have any kind of return policy or a quality issues. Then I can go on marketplaces like Amazon, Flipkart, Walmart. Sitting here in Bangalore, my products will reach most of the predominant area through online marketplaces. So such customers coming into your physical store is going to great value add for you, right? But that's about your, you're setting up a store. What does a store require? A store basically required a facility, or a kind of a furniture, or a kind of a L angle, or some kind of holding materials, like what do you call it as? I'm not getting the right name. Kind of a desk, right? So to showcase your product, that's a bare minimum that you can go ahead and fetch. You get it. You get a MS Steel, what do you call, powder coated, the gray color angle. Remember, with a blocks hole in it. You just fix your desk, your desk, and then start working on it, and that becomes the initial product. Obviously, you have a laptop. You have your internet connection that becomes your daily, monthly consumption. Then obviously you have some packaging in case if you want to showcase it, because you can always utilize that packaging as your return customers. You can do your website, you can give your content, you can give your YouTube channels, social media channels, handles, because they can also go ahead and leverage looking at what kind of product or a dish I can create using this product, right? So coconut milk, I'm planning to do a lot of cooking videos, just a short videos in 1 minute, so they get to understand how they can leverage upon. So with that in mind, I would request you to go ahead and watch my YouTube shorts. I have put across certain recipes, certain things what you can do with coconut milk, and I've spoken enough of here and there. But if you really wanted any specific information, as I said, you can always leave your comments below. I'll have a look at it. Now this is about the physical store. You will obviously have your rentals, you have your electricity bill, you will have internet, because you have your billing and you're managing your inventory. You should be absolutely sacrosanct, because you're doing a cash transactions. It also helps you. So like I was saying, it also helps you to go ahead and understand what is your monthly outgoing. Make sure, this is a very important quote I would quote here. You also need to pay yourself. Okay, since you have your own expenses, it's your business. Please understand, when you start your own business, give yourself time. Make sure that you have the right intent, all the positive thoughts in your brains. Make sure that you also end up paying yourself. It could be as nominal as your petrol cost, your mobile cost. You have to make that profits, because if you do not trust your product and your business, I would request you do not even start. Period. Now, I mean, you would ask me why, Paul? Because you need to know that you have to trust. Because when you ideate, remember I spoke in my previous video, you have to have an idea first. That idea will actually come from your experiences, your circumstances. You would have analyzed that, hey, you know what? If I get this, I'm trying to solve this problem, right? So in this case, my problem solving is that it's convenience. I'm making sure that, I'm not as bad as any coconut milk what you get in the market. It is as fresh as possible. In Kerala, one of the greatest district to get best coconuts in town is Kannur. So I'm procuring the manufacturer from Kannur and making sure that it's a retort pouch. It's one of the greatest food technology that people have created currently in the market. Absolutely sealed, it's retorted, no bacteria contamination, absolutely qualitative product. That's one. And also highly competitive pricing. What happens is that since it has a longer shelf life, you can work around with your pricing, right? So I'm going to value address my USP is going to be in pricing and quality in terms of packaging, and also making sure that easily available convenience, not that you have to be available only on supermarkets. So this will value add people to go ahead and find you, because you have to find a way to go ahead and attack the stores. Remember, the stores will actually end up charging you commission on the higher side, your percentage value, and also your rentals to showcase your product in those shelves. So those shelves depends where you want to go. If you want to go in a higher hypermarket or a store market, they're going to charge you a bomb. So instead of that, you start from your physical store, keep your cost as low as possible. See what else can you sell along with it. Since you're not taking your franchisee, it's your own store, right? So you can always go ahead and sell what is in relate to the ready to eat convenience. So find another manufacturer, go ahead and do a private label and launch your product. Now, what I said, remember, once you have this operational expenditure coming in a control, so you would know how much of target that you have to keep it. You would operate from Monday to Sunday, I mean, probably Tuesday to Sunday, and keep Monday as an off day, because you can take a breather and then come back and do all the sales. Depends how you want to do this as early as possible, but physical store will help you to kickstart your businesses and get some transactional sales happening as soon as possible. I'm not telling you that you will achieve 1 lakh within 10 days or a day. It's a slow start. It's a patient. You need lot of perseverance. Absolutely like a Zen piece. You have to wait for the customers to come in, and you would obviously network and talk and do a lot of things, making sure that you make sure your friends and family visits you. They also visit your store and buy something off, because this is something which everybody requires in day-to-day usage. It's a fast moving consumer brand, so they will use it in a day-to-day aspects. It is also because I've packaged it in such a way it would get consumed within probably 2 or 3 days time. So you also need to know this is a highly ready to eat convenience food, right? So this is about your product and about your physical store, how it can value add. What are the con side of it? The con side of it is that you have to keep your rentals very low. If it is more than 10,000, it's going to burn you out, because if you're the only staff and you have to sit there, wait for your customers to happen. Meanwhile, you can go ahead and build your own website, do a lot of tweaking, get this content creation on the free time, do a lot of photography of your products, put it in various angles, write a small blog, start this. You'll be completely busy doing this. I hope everybody's using Meta Suite, so that you can, once you create your content, you can put this up. So you'll be also side by side working on your own product, specifically how to go online. You will do a lot of research, study. How does your logistics happen, shipping happen? The main thing is your packaging. What kind of packaging you will do? Will you go on Amazon? So the entire online segment, you have to think through about it. So you get a lot of time. It's just that the physical store is a value addition to get more customers also from your offline method. And also when you concentrate on the online, that becomes an eventually a market to go ahead and sell your product and reach a lot of customers. See what happens, the con side is that you have to wait for the customers to come, and also is within your peripheral of geography that your store is put up. It's only those, let's say 1 kilometer, 5 kilometer, the max people get to know. So that will take a lot of time. People will have to move around, walk around. Only then they will see, hey, you know what? There is a store called White Gold. I mean, they might not mistake in saying that, hey, somebody's selling gold. But once you go inside, you see, hey. So a lot of issues will happen, a lot of turnaround, a lot of customers will turn your back. So you have to know and talk, be as friendly as possible, collect their mobile numbers and name and address. So it is always better to network first. Don't shy away, because Atithi Devo Bhava. Any customers is like a god. If a god is walking into your store, please make sure that you respect and thank that they've come. Make sure that depends on you how well you speak, you convert that into your sale. So there are pros and cons toward it, but I'm just letting you know that this is more important as we speak for the offline store. Look at it, the positive aspects of it. Eventually, when you start an online store, you can always convert that into your also your warehouse, right? Because you're stocking your product there, it becomes easy for you to go ahead and pack, and your online marketplace will come on your certain timelines. They would come and pick up your product, so you have to be visibly be there. So eventually, you'll have everybody coming in your grocery store. Where will you put up your store? People are buying from you. Your immediate restaurants, catering institutions will also become your customers might come in, because you're trying to serve the best quality of products. That's the greatest point of having an offline store. Now let's talk about the operational expense. I told you about first is going to be your rentals. Obviously, you need to have an internet. You need to pay yourself, so there might be some miscellaneous cost, which includes your packaging. In case if you want to give away, your printing, so you have to have a printer. Make sure that your stationaries are well in place. Make sure that you have power backup, so that whenever the power goes, you're still not looking dark. It's always available, and you work around with. So such kind of thing, operational expenses. Just think through that. You would operate from probably 10 o'clock till 7 o'clock, maximum till 8 o'clock store. How it goes, because you're just selling probably 4 products with different SKUs. As you value add, and just imagine it's going to be on your own branding, right? So everything matters a lot. Your customer, your smile, your customer service, your marketing, your offline store, your branding, your solutions, everything comes to the picture. Only then customers will walk in, have a very good lighting system, and then move on. So your electricity bill, your rentals again, your internet again, and make sure that your miscellaneous costs, which includes your stationaries, your packaging materials, all comes into picture. And then have a greater smile and all the best for your sales. So do so. This is what I am doing. So I've identified a space. It's just that the registration process will start. The reason why you have to have a space, I mentioned earlier, for an e-commerce, if you kicking start your food brand, it's always better to have an offline store, because your FSSI matters, your GST matters when you do an online player. It becomes more easier for you to have a store or an office space, convert into an office space. Obviously, you'll be sitting and working from that place, and then it becomes easier for you to go ahead and do it. We will talk about a lot of compliances about private limited. It's too difficult to handle such kind of scheme. It is, because understand you need to have a bank account if you're transacting with a lot of online marketplaces. So obviously your bank matters a lot. So we will talk about every step by step of every aspects about kickstart your online e-commerce brand, specifically on your food product, be it cloud kitchen, restaurants, your food processing, your food products, whatever is required, product sales. It's all starts from here. So that's a base level. So with that in mind, if you have any questions and middle to this deep end, I will appreciate. I request you to go ahead and like, follow, and hit that subscribe button and hit that bell notification without you fail. I am Paul, and this is your channel called Royal Bangalore Food. We're just trying to make it as easy as possible for a lot of people out there who want to kickstart, because India is on the rise. So my dear folks, thank you so much for listening. Appreciate it. Thanks for your time. I really appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. Just show that love, and my love coming in all the way. Thanks for listening. This is Paul signing off. Take care. Cheers and bye-bye.